Hello and welcome to this brief introduction to my persona template. My name is Roman Pichler and I'd like to spend the next few minutes explaining to you how I describe personas. But before I introduce the template to you, let me just quickly remind you of what personas are. So, personas in a nutshell. What is a persona? As you probably know, a persona is a fictional character that represents target users or customers. So you can think of a persona as something similar to a character in a novel or in a play. The difference for us in a product management setting is that a persona should represent real people, real users and real customers. And hence your persona descriptions should be based on first-hand knowledge of the market. So if you haven't had the opportunity to get to know your users and customers, then I would suggest that you wait with writing personas and you first carry out some qualitative market research, for instance, observing users or interviewing users. So you get to know them and you understand their pain points or you understand their wants and needs. That'll allow you then to create realistic, believable and specific personas. Now, one of the key benefits of personas is that they help us develop empathy for the users. So really relate to those users and really deepen our understanding of what they're currently struggling with, or maybe what's working well for them and how we can help them. And that then allows us to make the right product decisions and hopefully build a product that does a great job for the users. So what personas want to help us is embrace a user-centered approach so that we don't fall into the trap of worrying more about to which extent we should provide a feature or how exactly it should be provided or how it will be implemented. That'd be a solution-centered mindset. But rather, a user-centered approach means we focus on the users and the customers, the beneficiaries of our product, and we keep them in mind. We keep in mind why it's worthwhile building the product in the first place. Personas were pioneered in product management, certainly for digital product back in the 1990s by Alan Cooper. I would suggest that today, however, they are a standard technique that every product manager and product owner should know. So let's take a look at my template. And here it is. And as you can see, it consists of 3 sections. So it's a very simple template, intentionally so, to help you focus on what really matters and leave out the rest. So the first section is called a picture and name. And as the title suggests, it wants to encourage you to choose a picture for your persona, give your persona a face, and give your persona a name. Now, why is that? Well, the reason is, the idea is to make your personas more concrete, more believable, make it easier to relate to those descriptions. Develop empathy for the users, for the customers that are represented by this fictional character. What I would suggest, though, is that you choose an appropriate picture, an appropriate name that is truly representative for the target group. The next section, the details, want to encourage you to capture the characteristics and the relevant behaviors of your persona. So things like demographics, for instance, age, gender and occupation, for instance, or income, and then psychographics, lifestyle, for instance, or personality. And then behavioral attributes would be things like usage patterns, possibly brand loyalty, and attitudes. Now, traditionally, persona descriptions can be rather lengthy. And I find it difficult to work with long and very detailed persona descriptions. So I'd really encourage you to keep your persona descriptions short and sweet and focus on what truly matters. So keep them concise and only list relevant details. So if age, for instance, isn't relevant, then leave it out. Or maybe you don't have to make it explicit because it's covered by your persona's picture anyway. And that allows us to focus on the final section, which is the most important one, the goal of the persona. And the goal really should describe the reason why users or customers would want to engage your product. So, what is the purpose of the product? What job does the product do for the users and for the customers? Why would people want to use it? Why would people want to buy it? That's the question here. And it's typically either to create a benefit. So, what is the benefit that the persona want to achieve? Or it's about helping the persona address and solve a problem. So think about Facebook as an example for a benefit generating product, benefit being to stay in touch with family and friends, and a product like Google Maps as a problem solving product that helps people get from A to B. What I would like to recommend is that you make the goal of your persona very specific. So try and capture as precisely as you can what is the desired benefit or what is the problem that the product should address. And sometimes personas have several goals, several problems or benefits, and that's okay. However, I would then encourage you to prioritize the goals and clearly state the most important one, maybe by putting it at the top and maybe by underlining it. That'll create focus and it'll make it then easier to make the right product decisions. And for instance, decide if a feature should be implemented because it benefits a persona or it shouldn't be implemented because it doesn't really help address or meet a persona goal. What I like to do with this template, I like to print it out and I then like to fill it out and put it up on the wall. Of course, you can also blow it up or recreate that structure on the office wall if you need more space. But I find it really powerful to keep the personas visible and have them in front of me and then be able to use them to make the right product decisions and remind myself of the beneficiaries of the product, the users and the customers. So that was a brief introduction to my persona template. I hope you've found it useful. There is more information available, first of all, on my website. I've written a number of blog posts about personas, particularly using personas in an agile, dynamic business environment. I've also covered the persona template in my book, Strategize, which also provides the benefit of describing the necessary strategizing and product discovery activities that then lead to the creation of effective personas. And if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, then please do reach out to me. It'd be great to hear from you. And you can contact me via email or Twitter. Thank you for watching.